Recording in progress.
I know, there you go. That you nailed it. I'm going to keep an eye out on people as they come in. So.
Yay. We're being live streamed.
I know all these announcements. We are live streamed. It says meeting is now live streamed on Facebook, and it hasn't come up on my screen, but I think Facebook can see us.
Yay! Hello, Facebook.
Oh, sorry, something went wrong.
Uh-oh.
Don't do this to me.
It still says we're live on Facebook right now.
It does say. So if you're watching us, we're looking very confused now because it says
We are.
There we
Sorry
are.
for the confusion. Please stand by. We're having technical difficulties.
I think I see us. Okay. Those of you watching, I'm not ignoring April. I'm looking over to see that we made it live. We did. Okay.
I think people. Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'll take over your job, Jodi, as you figure out the technical difficulties.
One of our speakers, you know how to do it. You've done your own summit, so you know. Good morning,
Totally.
Harriet. Yay, we're live. We're working.
Yay! Good morning, everyone.
All right. So, hopefully people will start dripping on. Good morning, Harriet. Thank you for being on here. So punctual you are this morning, Harriet. So, I have April. I can't do the fancy. Terreau. Terreau. If you want to
Terreau is fine.
In the Zoom room today. She is one of our featured speakers, one of 20 featured speakers in the upcoming Connecting Back to You for the Empty Nest Midlife Woman to help us step into our life boldly with confidence, feeling fulfilled, happier. And I think that's what all women want, whether you're an empty nest or midlife. Isn't it what all humans want, is to feel confident, happy, and fulfilled? And, I went live in another speaker, Tennille's group yesterday, and I want to set this up before we get into everybody meeting you, April, that these speaker series, I know it can be overwhelming that there's so many of them out there, and April has hosted her own summit. You call it a summit, a speaker series, whatever you want to call it. I call it a series. They're really valuable. They're really valuable. And those of us who create them, we create them because we have a passion and a mission to support others on their journey through life. And life can be difficult. But here's the thing about what my number one reason that this is valuable. What if one speaker says one thing that just changes it all for you? And that's what happened to me. I was at a live speakers conference and Luann Kahn took the stage, and her one talk about daring changed everything for me as a coach. I left that conference and created Moms Who Dare. So, I know we all say we're too busy, our lives are too full, but are we really too busy for what if, for the possibility that one thing one speaker might say could unlock the blurriness and create that clarity that you've been wanting in your life? Like, that's the power of these speaker series. And so I'm going to encourage you that from November 1st to November 5th, maybe dare yourself not to watch Netflix. Maybe dare yourself not to watch, I don't know, what are the other ones? Amazon Prime. Maybe November 1st to the 5th is all about you watching or listening, because you could always plug in your earphones. You don't have to watch us live. You can hear us talk. The 20 speakers that we're bringing forth during those 5 days for you. Because really, what if? That's what I always felt like, what if? So I wanted to introduce these 2 weeks are all about introducing some of our amazing speakers. We have 12 of the 20 speakers coming live. April is one of them. And I just want you to get a glimpse as to, who these speakers are and why it's so important for you to register for the speaker series and then watch and listen to the interview. So April, welcome to the Moms Who Dare.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here, Jodi. I love your community. I love your group. I love watching your lives. Every now and then I get a little, Jodi's live. I'm like, oh, let's see what Jodi's got to say today. So it's I love the community.
In the group. And April's in the group. So during the series, if you have questions for her, tag her in the group. She'll be there to answer your questions. But no, I appreciate you saying all that. April, our interview was all about, we're not going to give any of our secrets away. Our topic was all about uncovering your authentic sexual self. So with a title like that, let's start off with tell everybody who you are.
Yes.
And then what you do.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there.
Beautiful. Well, hello. My name is April Terreau. My business is called the Sacred Sisterhood of Sexuality. Let's talk about sex, baby. So yeah.
She breaks out in the song.
So I'm April, and what I do is I bring women into the red tent, hence the red tent behind me. I have a virtual red tent that I bring women into, which is a sacred space where we can come together to witness each other, to hold space for each other, to really just be with each other in a really safe space where we can talk about things that are important to them, specifically sexuality. And I walk women through a 7-step process to help them uncover who they are as an authentic sexual being. Because really, like, how many of us talk about sex? Or if we do, we're not really talking about the important things around sex. How much stuff has influenced who we are as sexual beings? How many of us have bought into the story of as we get older, our sex drive just kind of fails, and that's just kind of where it is? Like, it's a story. It's not reality. Yes, I know it does wane, but why does it wane? Let's talk about those things. And so those are kind of the conversations that we have in the red tent of really what's in your way of really embracing your sexuality. We have so much guilt and shame and trauma and past stuff in our way of really seeing what's possible with our sexuality. And I believe what's possible, we're just scratching the surface. Oh. Sexuality is a beautiful energy that can be used for so many things. For instance, I created the house I live in right now with a little bit of sex magic, actually a lot of sex magic. So it was an impossibility before, it's now possible, and I'm actually living within the walls. So it's, I know what's possible with sexuality, and I know I'm just uncovering the surface. And so it's worth it to take that journey to really uncover all of that stuff that's in your way.
I love that. So that's who you are. That's what you do. So why? Like, what's your why? Like, what I'd love to hear what the why was that brought you here.
Yeah, it's kind of, I feel like this is kind of like the pinnacle of all of my life's work. Okay. And it's just kind of all come together at this moment. So I've been I'm in Canada, so I'm a regulated health professional for over 20 years. So I was a massage therapist, and then I went back to school and became a midwife. So I know about sexual health. I know about female anatomy. I've delivered over 1,000 babies. So I know women's anatomy, their sexual health. I know how to have intimate conversations with people. I know how to hold that space of transformation. Like when a woman transforms from a woman into a mother is a pretty amazing time. So I've had that background. I've been a coach for over 15 years in the personal growth world as well. Something that I really love, really standing for people to see something newly. And I've also been studying my own sacred sexuality for over 20 years. So it's really, so I've been like studying, like going to different festivals and learning. I now teach at the Sacred Sexuality Festival. So it's kind of like bringing it all together in the Sacred Sisterhood of Sexuality. And I love it. I couldn't be happier being in the tent and just really seeing women open up. Like I've had women who've come through at the tent and they've been married for 30 plus years, haven't had sex in over a decade, and they're having sex with their husband, not a new partner, and like giggling and enjoying it and really exploring newly, which they've never done before. And for me, that's just like, that's what life is about, connection. That's why we're here. We're here to connect. And so if there's stuff in your way of your connection, let's get it out of the way so we can really connect. So there's so much why there.
Oh my God, so much fun. But I like how you shared your history and what you've done being a midwife and supporting women that way. And, what I loved about our interview and what I loved about meeting you and knowing you is you really hit the nail on the head, so to speak, that we think there's something wrong with us.
Totally.
There is a lot of shame and embarrassment around talking, even with, I'm going to be married 30 years. Mm-hmm. So many of us women who are married for 10, 15, 30, 35 years, we're scared to talk to even our partners about how we're feeling about it, because we talk, and we're not going to go into it. We talk about our sexual paradigm. What is that story that we were brought up with? And I just love how you've made it your life mission to make it okay, because part of connecting back to you and living your life confidently and feel more confidently and step into it boldly with confidence, feeling happy and fulfilled, is having a healthy sexual life with your partner.
And I guarantee you what's blocking you sexually is blocking you in every other area of your life. And a lot of people just keep them separate. It's like, I'm going to do the spiritual growth over here, but we're not going to talk about sexuality. I'm like, no. Let's, like, what's stopping you from abundance is absolutely stopping you from what's stopping you sexually. Like, they're so connected. What's stopping you creatively is also probably stopping you sexually. So it's like, it's so integral to who we are. And our society has just pushed it down, but then also elevated it in this really unhealthy way. Like, sex sells, but don't be a sexual person, because we have to be the nice girls and the good girls. And no, we like pleasure is our birthright. It is our birthright to have pleasure, to feel pleasure, to enjoy pleasure. You are worth it. You are worthy of pleasure. It is worth exploring and allowing yourself to have that beautiful pleasure in your body and with a partner or by yourself or whatever. And we just don't talk about it.
Do you all see what I see? Do you all see? No, so yes, but laugh. Do you all see what comes through April? This ease, this comfort. I get why women who work with you are able to have breakthroughs and able to break through the stories or times of the shame and the blockage. I mean, you have this ease and acceptance around you. So I know you have, but from somebody new to this whole talk of sexuality, you are creating that space. And I can't wait for people to tune in to hear our conversation about, you lead us through our interview. April really does. You're going to want your workbook for it.
Yes.
April takes us through questions and to journal about those questions to identify what our sexual paradigm is and those stories. And she has you, go through a whole exercise. So be sure. And April, I'm looking at my schedule. April is on day 3, November 3rd. Our interview will be released, and it really is a talk workshop. So make sure you print out the workbook. When you register for the series, you will get a series of welcome emails, and there will be a link to download a workbook. And there's a couple of pages for each speaker, so you can keep notes. And I would encourage you even get your own journal for the whole series. But I can't wait to share your interview on November 3rd with everybody. And that's why I invited you in. Sue Thiel said the new Dr. Ruth. Dr. Ruth was very direct. She made it okay on national TV to talk sex, to talk about sex. So
I love Dr. Ruth. Don't get me wrong. I totally grew up on Dr. Ruth too. And I love that she was so straightforward and talked about penises and vaginas and this and that. I found she didn't quite talk about what I talk about. Like, I'm really talking about what's blocking you, like what's in your way of really exploring it. So I'm more of the spiritual growth of it. Like what's stopping you from that. So
and that's the mind, body, spirit part of
exactly. Don't get me wrong. I can talk all day like Dr. Ruth does. I know all of the sexual health and how this works and how that works and what this pleasure is and that and what type of orgasms and all. I can talk all about that.
More about what our stories are and how to break
totally.
So,
I really talk about through I talk about through the sexual paradigm and how your sexual paradigm is controlling your entire sex life. So
that's what our interview is about. So you're not going to miss it, and we're not giving any more away.
No.
I wanted you to meet some of these speakers because I heard you loud and clear. Those of you here who were part of our last series would have loved to have met the speakers before the series began. And here you go, meet April. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, so November 3rd. So if you're not registered for the Connecting Back to You speaker series, here's how you register. Obviously, I'm going to go into the group. I will post a link on this post, but I made it super easy. In our group, the big cover photo up top, if you click that cover photo, it opens up, and on the right-hand side is a link that you can register for this series. When you register for this series, what happens next is you will get a welcome email. You will tell you what next steps are to make sure that you're getting the emails. You get to download the workbook, and then you'll get a couple more emails sharing the speaker's schedule, so you know what speakers are coming next. And then starting November 1st, every day for the 5 days of the series, you will wake up to an email in your inbox with links to watch or listen to those recordings. That's how it works. It's as simple as that. And I will also share with you that and you'll also find out that there's a VIP all access bundle that we're selling for like $37, which gives you unlimited lifetime access to all the videos and audio recordings of the interviews. And because of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we are donating a portion of every one of those sold to support breast cancer. So that's it. That's April. We met April. I think we have, I don't know. Let me see. Hold on. Stay with me here, because I know we have another live today. Yes. So come back here at noon. Oh, this is a big day. This is a big day. First, we met April, right? April of uncovering your authentic sexual self and the sisterhood of sacred.
The sacred sisterhood of sexuality.
Sacred sisterhood of sexuality. Sorry.
It's okay.
At 12 noon, I'm coming back at lunchtime to talk to Kim Votney, who is known as the Vagina Coach. And she's all about pelvic floor health. And
Beautiful.
It's an important conversation to have.
So as a previous midwife, so important to talk about pelvic health. So many people don't realize how important it is.
We have a big day all about females here, ladies and gentlemen.
Beautiful.
Ladies, just ladies. All right, so register for the series. Come back here at noon. And I'm looking forward to you connecting more with April. And April, thank you so much for being part of this series.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. As I said, I love your community. So anything I can help to add value to everybody. And I really hope they work through the workshop as we did it, so that they get breakthroughs for themselves. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
All right,
Awesome.
ladies in Facebook, I'm stopping the live stream. April's going to stay on with me for a minute. And as I always say, they're on.
They're on.
All right, live stream. That was great. It was great. Perfect.
Beautiful.
You draw people in, you know that. And that's because, well, I'm sure you always did, because the other part, but it's also because you're so comfortable with who you are. And when you're comfortable with who you are, then you're just that people want to be with you.
I've done the work, continuing to do the work daily.
Yeah, well, it's an ongoing process.
Totally. Totally.
All right. I am
Awesome.
I will send you the video. Oh,
Awesome.
I recorded that part.
That's okay.